Okay. So I've been teaching in schools, also private. Then I found I have different materials when I'm teaching at school and private. At school, I have to teach my student based on the book, on the handbook. But when I teach private, I can teach them anything I want, anything I think they need. And I kind of tell the difference between the how I teach when it is private and how I teach it is if it is in schools. So in schools, just mostly reading. The student read text and then answer questions about the text. I think it's like 90% like that, sir. And if it is not reading, it is about vocabulary, but just the vocabulary, like table is meja, door is pintu. And then I kind of don't like it. So when I teach private, I don't use that kind of method. I teach private. My student focus on speaking, but I don't teach them vocabulary. I don't teach them words by words, but I teach them sentences or common phrases that they already can use it in their daily life. Like, for example, common phrases like, don't cry, don't fight, open the door, like that. Or the sentence that I think that they have to be able to use, like personal information, like what is your name, where do you live, how many brothers do you have, something like that. And I think when we teach students with sentences or common phrases that already can be used, we don't have to teach double, sir, because they already know the pattern of the sentence, and they got also the vocabulary that they have to know. Like, for example, when I want to teach them about vocabulary like noun, I will not teach them like table is meja, but this is a table. And then they can broaden from that sentence. Like, you can change the table into with doors, books. This is a door, this is a book, this is a pencil. So I think that is more effective than just teaching them words by words. Only their vocabulary. Like, then if I teach vocabulary at school, they don't know how to use it in a sentence, sir. Like, they only know by the words. And then we as teacher have to tell them and teach them again how to use that vocabulary in a sentence. Because when they just know the words, they cannot ask question, they cannot answer question, or retelling about certain things. So I think that's what I want to write, because I think it's more effective to teach students with sentence or common phrases than just words.
Okay, so then, yeah, you can do that actually. So then if you want to, so what you see here is the problem where the students, you think that the system in the school, the way they did something is not appropriate with the nature of learning of the students these days. So what you can do, of course, you can like searching for that. What you say is formulaic sentences. I have done some searching for that, and now I'm going to share to you. about the, wait a second, I need to share first the, okay. So then, wait, this one. So this one. So if you see, this one is the name is formulaic expressions. I search this with this one. Okay. So the situation is, I will use bahasa Indonesia so then your friends will understand easily. Menurut Reina tadi itu, pembelajaran bahasa Inggris di sekolah itu terlalu monoton, di mana menggunakan namanya learning not in context. Jadi learning melalui apa meaning, kayak misalnya table, meja, and bla bla bla, and misalnya book, buku, dan lain sebagainya. Menurut Rena itu tidak efektif. Dan Rena merasa bahwasanya yang lebih efektif itu adalah formulaic expression. Seperti, this is a school, how are you, what do you feel, something like that. Is that correct, Rena? Nah,
yes, sir.
Rena pengen mencoba untuk mencari, meneliti tentang hal tersebut. Maka ini namanya adalah teorinya adalah formulaic expression. Nah, setelah saya cek ini, ada beberapa contohnya. Misalnya, I think this is the same. Ini tahun berapa? 2017. Ini juga tahun, oh ya, ini sama. EG7. So, ya, ini sama. Nah, maka ini contohnya. Contoh expressionsnya. Nah, misalnya di sini, formal expression used in conversational text of the 10th grade English textbooks. Nah, ini dia yang diteliti dengan seperti ini. Yang dicek adalah buku yang dipakai. Apakah mengandung formulaic conversational text atau tidak. Formulaic expressions. Nah, kemudian ini ada satu contoh lagi. Designing and using scenario-based digital game to teach Chinese formulaic expressions. Nah, ini juga bisa digunakan. Nah, kalau menurut saya ini lebih menarik daripada yang tadi. Nah, kita akan lihat. Nah, designing and using a scenario-based digital game to teach Chinese formulaic expressions. Nah, di sini can offer numerous opportunities, bla bla bla. Gaming. This use platform unit to develop a scenario-based digital game. Oke. Context, goals, feedback. Nah, sekarang saya mau tanya dulu ke Reina. Reina ini yang mau diuji cobakan apa? Apakah is it about keefektifan atau yang lain?
Iya, sir. Ya, keefektifan dan manfaat bagi siswanya sendiri gitu, Pak.
Oke. Jadi kalau ini sebenarnya tidak begitu banyak mengenai apa? Ini yang tadi sudah ya. Karena itu juga sudah lumayan lama, tapi ada yang lebih baru sebenarnya. We will search for this one. Oh ya, jadi gini. Kalian pernah belajar dengan menggunakan istilahnya nonton, kemudian menggunakan setelah nonton, kemudian kalian praktekkan. Raina pernah seperti itu?
Nonton bagaimana, Pak? Maksudnya nonton film?
For example, like this one. So you teach your brother as well, right?
Yes, sir. Sometimes.
Ketika mengajar si murid, kemudian kamu pernah menggunakan ketika mengajar adikmu menggunakan apa?
Banyak sih, Pak.
For example?
Enggak. Oke. Tapi saya jarang pakai buku, Pak, karena dia bakal langsung
So what do you use? Yeah.
Yeah, video. Tapi mostly video on YouTube, not like movies because it's too long, I think.
So you better use that one.
Okay.
Is it good or not, the result?
Yes, it is good.
I mean, for your brothers. Nah, if it is good, so you can search that one. So then you can use this one. So, for example, For example, you use that one. Jadi gini, ketika si Rena ngajar menggunakan YouTube itu, nah ini bisa. This is from apa namanya? Jadi nanti gini, ketika Rena menulis artikel di sini, Rena is telling story, the success story of teaching your brother using YouTube. When it is successful, you documented it in a form of article, so you can suggest that for school as well, for other teachers to study from your activity. Nah, ini kan ada. Okay. So there are a lot of sources for that one. For example, this
Jadi
one.
artikelnya berbentuk cerita gitu, Pak, cerita
Correct.
tentang pengalaman.
Yes, that's correct. Now, for example, on this one, you look learning English from YouTubers, English and language learners self-regulate language learning on YouTube. Nah, jadi di sini, when you see this one, investigate students self-regulated language learning on YouTube outside of the classroom. Blah blah blah. Okay, when we see when the university students who had sufficient experience of watching YouTubers and teaching videos were invited for individual interview. Jadi pengambilan datanya cukup dengan interview. Bisa dipahami ya? So you can use this one as your text mentor. Bisa dipahami sampai sini? Nah,
bisa.
Jadi ini nanti bisa dipakai. Nah, ini yang versi Scopusnya. This is very new. I mean like 2019 is 2 years ago. Kemudian, ini juga ada apa ini? Oh, this is not the thing that I wanted to search. Wait, kita lihat yang lain coba. Nah, ini juga bisa nih. This one. Jadi banyak. Jadi kata kuncinya pakai YouTube saja. Oke. Okay, when we look at this one, look at this title, Effects of YouTube Multimedia Instruction for Vocabulary Learning. Nah, jadi dari sini kan tidak menggunakan istilahnya this is table, this is what like that. Gitu. Bisa dipahami ya? Nah, nih. Students were divided into 2 groups, experimental group and control group. Data were collected using pre-test and post-test. Nah, ini mah jangan seperti ini. Enak yang tadi ini aja. Do you know how to get this one? I have shown you before, right? This one. And hopefully it works. Jam segini biasanya susah. Let's see. What is the problem? Okay. Wait for a couple of seconds. Okay. Nah, this is it. Kelihatan ya? So you can read this one. Sudah ya, Rena ya?
Oke, sir.
Oke. Di samping teori itu, kalian juga bisa menggunakan teori yang lain. For example, like, wait. Misalnya ini, YouTube itu didesain untuk mengajar atau bukan?
Bukan.
Nah, ketika dia bukan digunakan untuk mengajar, maka dia itu bisa disebut dengan authentic materials. Nah, maka di sini bisa di search. Ini kan banyak ya nanti YouTube Learning Potential of English Videos in form of vlog, Ultimate Writers dan lain sebagainya. Nah, misalnya kita pakai ini. YouTube as authentic. Oke, authenticity ini bisa. Kemudian, wait a second. Nah, ini juga bisa. The impact of YouTube, Skype, and WhatsApp in improving your learner speaking skill. So you can focus only on YouTube. That's okay. Ini juga bisa. Banyak. Nah, ini juga bisa incorporating YouTube clips in the classroom to develop students cultural understanding. Jadi banyak yang bisa digunakan. Seperti itu. Misalnya dia tanpa menggunakan kata YouTube pun bisa. Ini. Maka bisa seperti ini. Misalnya anything bla 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 dari yang YouTube. Flashcards, license, motivation. Examples again. Wait. Banyak sekali kok, sebentar. Something like that. Nah, nih bisa. Video blog is from YouTube, right? As authentic materials, enhancing students' listening comprehension, enhancing student speaking skill. You can change it. Bisa dipahami ya sampai sini, Reina?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, for example, like this one too. Okay, any other question? Yang lain ada yang mau ditanyakan? Silakan. Tidak ada? Kalau tidak ada, sekarang saatnya kalian melakukan apa yang sudah saya request dari minggu lalu. Masih ingat apa?
Tujuan artikel, Pak.
Oke.
Ada 7.
Tujuan artikel, kemudian? Dan apa? Ada yang mau sharing? Silakan. Siapa? Halo? Yang sudah ketemu? Azal, halo? Azal di sini nggak?
Yes, sir.
Oke, silakan di-share Azal. Coba.
Okay, sir. I'm looking for first.
Oke.
I'm gonna share contents.
Kita tunggu Azal ya. Sambil menunggu Azal, ada yang mau ditanyakan? Silakan. Oh iya. Sambil menunggu Azal, silakan untuk yang itu absensi tulis di chat ya. Chat rooms. Sambil menunggu Azal, saya mau share ini dulu. Tadi itu. Oke. Nanti sambil nunggu Azal ya. Azal kalau sudah siap nanti dikabarin. Oke. Nah, ini tadi kita melihat yang ini ya, yang tentang YouTube. So I will discuss this for a while. Learning English from YouTubers, English language learning on YouTube. Nah, if we read this one, wait. Azal sudah siap? Nah, ketika kita
wait a second, sir.
Oke, sambil nunggu Azal ya. Nah, kita sambil baca ini, silakan sambil menunggu. Nah, ketika baca ini, focusing on English in Taiwan, sedikit evaluate students. Oke, nah di sini dia menggunakan ini individual interview, menggunakan interview to bring to light their perceptions. Jadi ketika belajar menggunakan YouTube ini, mereka ditanya-tanya sebenarnya apa sih yang mereka dapatkan ketika belajar mandiri. Nah, kemudian the result here we can see the responses, ya. Nah, di sini ini bisa dijadikan lanjutannya. Jadi nanti misalnya Rena mau menggunakan ini bisa menyampaikan bahwasanya ada penelitian yang sudah meneliti tentang YouTube, tapi untuk university students. Bagaimana dengan, nah lanjutannya nanti persis seperti ini, tetapi dengan fokus khusus misalnya ke adik Rena. Gitu. Seperti itu.
Baik, Pak.
Bisa dipahami ya?
Tapi tidak apa-apa, Pak. Maksudnya pengambilan datanya itu hanya dari satu orang ini.
Bisa. Namanya bisa. Namanya itu nanti metodenya kalau di sini itu oke, kita lihat ke bagian bawah ya. Wait, method. Wait. Azal sudah siap? Belum. Nah, ini contoh yang ada di tujuan penelitian.
Yes, I've done already, sir.
Gimana, Azal?
already.
Lagi adzan ya? Ya, nunggu adzan beres ya. Saya sambil menjelaskan sedikit. Nah, jadi di sini ini adalah research questions-nya. Ada 3. Oke, ini yang menjadi tujuan penelitian. Bagaimana sih? How do EFL learners use English teaching YouTubers? Kemudian actions yang mereka kerjakan. Kemudian apa yang mereka dapatkan persepsinya. Nah, misalnya methodology. Nah, di sini kalau kita lihat di sini bla bla bla, the placement were recruited through reasonable sampling. Initial placement. Saya tunjukkan aja ini bagaimana ketika kalian meneliti sebuah penelitian dengan ini. Saya coba carikan di sini ya. Oke, saya carikan dulu. Namanya adalah this one.
I'm ready, sir.
Ready? Okay.
Yes. I have questions, sir, about the tactics of it.
Okay.
We just have to share our purpose of this article, isn't right, sir?
Yeah. So you have to just show us which one is the purpose of the research of the article, of the chosen article that you have, and then you just explain what you know. We will see from the questions that we will have together. Ready? If ready, okay. I will stop share here. So we'll continue this one after Azal presentation. Silahkan Azal.
I'm sorry, sir, if there are many noisy.
It's okay.
Because I'm in traffic.
Kamu di jalan?
Yes, but I'm standing beside on the restaurant, sir.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Silakan. Azal.
Okay, sir. Anyone can see my screen?
Yeah, it's very small.
I'm sorry, sir. Wait.
That's better. A lot better. Okay.
Okay.
Can we see the title first?
Okay, sir. Wait.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Now I already to present about our subject today. Now I'm going to share the title of the articles that I found. The title is Teachers Write and Corrective Feedback on Students' Translation Improvement. So this one, let's continue to the focus on the purpose of this article. We can see from the first line of the abstract, it is I got the purpose of why this article is so important. It's because these teachers aim to integrate the teacher's written corrective feedback towards the student's translation improvement. Jadi tujuan dari artikel ini bertujuan untuk menyelidiki bagaimana seorang guru memperbaiki cara menerjemah seorang siswa dalam konteks leksikal, dalam konteks kesalahan ketika mentranslate sebuah artikel atau semacamnya, and the mistakes lexically and grammatically. Jadi I'm sorry, sir.
It's okay.
So the mistakes mostly on the people that in the students are mostly, there are many mistakes in the translation improvement. There are lexically and grammatically. Jadi kebanyakan kesalahan siswa dalam menerjemah sebuah konteks yang berbahasa Inggris untuk diterjemahkan ke bahasa Indonesia atau semacamnya. Jadi dari konteks artikel ini, bagaimana seorang murid itu bisa mengartikan, translating the words, the means of the articles that not different from the other context of the translation. Jadi kayak kita nih terhadap si guru mengajarkan pada siswanya agar siswa dapat mengartikan sebuah artikel atau apapun tanpa merubah isi dari makna dari asal artikel yang pertama, maksudnya original teksnya gitu, Pak. So jadi the student itu harus mengartikan namun tidak mengganti makna dari original teksnya yang pertama. Jadi dengan demikian siswa itu mengartikan teks ini agar tidak keluar dari makna leksikal dan grammatical errors-nya, sir. So maybe next presentation is, jadi pembahasan dari artikel ini bagaimana seorang guru teach to the students by using methods. There are many methods here. For the first methods are for the first method is the teacher are told to the student to translate the paragraph or anything by word for word translating. Jadi seorang guru itu mengajarkan kepada muridnya untuk menerjemahkan satu demi satu makna atau maksudnya satu demi satu kata dari artikel yang mau diterjemahkan atau hal semacamnya. Jadi kemudian mengingat dengan apa yang sudah didapat dari vocabularies atau kosakata yang sudah didapat, kemudian seorang guru itu tidak memberikan kepada siswa itu makna dari makna dari original teksnya. Jadi cuman seorang guru itu mengajarkan poin yang pertama seorang guru meminta kepada siswa untuk menerjemahkan satu demi satu kata yang mereka ketahui. Gitu, Pak. Kemudian for the second methods is one-to-one literal translation.
Azal.
Okay, sir.
I think that you don't have to explain everything. I need you to share to us where is the part of the aims or the purpose of this study in the article you can find. Can you show us? Can you show directly to that, please?
Okay. Maybe for the purpose of these articles, I'll go from the abstract. It is the first line. It is we can find it in the first line. It is research aimed to investigate the teacher's written corrective feedback towards the students' translation improvement.
Okay. How about under the introduction? Can you find them?
For the introduction.
Yeah, under the introduction, because it must be part of it.
I don't get it at all, sir. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Can you just scroll down before method? Can you just scroll down and stop before method? Continue, scroll down, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Where's the method?
Wait, it's too far. Can you come back to the top?
Okay.
Slowly. That is finding and discussion. Where is the method? Creative.
Where's the methods?
There's no method there. I don't think there is a method there.
I think for the first, it is the method. The methods is from this one, sir.
Okay. No, I mean like this one, yeah. So can you stop share so then I can share from here, and can you just show me the title so then the latest written corrective feedback. Teachers written.
Okay.
Feedback. So I will search from here and then we will see where is the locations of that one. Can you read it for me? Because we only have 3 minutes anyway. We still have.
Wait a second, sir.
Teachers. Written. I think, yeah. Corrective feedback. Is it, Azal? Hello, Azal?
Yes, sir.
Is it this one? Can you read again the title?
Teachers written corrective feedback on students' translation improvement.
On students.
Translation improvement.
Let's see. This one, yeah.
Yeah.
Calcium, right?
Yes.
Let's see from here. Okay, that is it. And let's say I got the PDF. Okay. Is it accredited or indexed by Sinta, Azza? Okay. Pre-translation, semantic translation. Okay. Why is it like that? I see. Now I want to ask you, Azal, ini di Sinta atau tidak?
Yes, sir. Saya dapatnya dari Sinta.
Nah, ini masuk Sinta berapa? Kok di sini agak aneh? Karena dia tidak ada metodenya. Ya, di sini tidak ada itunya ya. Tidak ada, wait. Judulnya Journal of Information and Development, Journal of, we will see. Sinta berapa? Azal.
Wait, sir. Lupa.
Saya buka dulu ya.
Okay.
I'll check it from here. Ini ya. Itu tadi tahun berapa, Azal? 2017, 2019. Ini tadi tahun 2019 ya. Ini yang kamu temukan sungguh unik ya, Sinta 4 padahal. Jadi ini adalah salah satu contoh. So this is one of the example of journal that is quite hard to understand karena tidak ada cara pengumpulan datanya di sini. Di sini juga tidak disebutkan jenis pendekatan dalam penelitiannya. Oke, anyway.